Hello there, Wednesday the 4th of January 2012. Welcome to today's United Kingdom Talk. My name's Chris Reardon. Two things happened just before Christmas and I haven't had time to tell you about them yet. And I've got to say, I'm very, very impressed. Kwik Fit. Do you remember the Kwik Fit story I told you a little while ago? And a few of you were writing to me, telling me of your experiences as well. Well. We got an email from Kwik Fit wanting to send a man round to check my car tyres. To see if what I've said on the show was indeed true. And I just couldn't believe it. A very, very, very nice man came round, got the car out of the garage and had a look round the tyres. Now, if you remember the show, it's been quite a few weeks ago now, I told you that I'd taken my car into a Kwik Fit garage and for two new front tyres. Toyota had told me I needed two front tyres. I asked them about the back ones. They said, no, you don't need the back ones, just the two front ones. And I said, okay. I then rung up Kwik Fit, cut a long story short, to save a little bit of money. And I went down there, and first of all, the price that they quoted online was much cheaper. But going into the garage was a lot more expensive. In fact, it was £20 per tyre more expensive than the dealer had charged me, which, was quite surprising. But it wasn't so much that. They insisted that I needed 4 new tyres instead of 2, so I then went back to Toyota and that was it, and I told you the story. Well, Kwik Fit must have seen the video because they sent me an email and they said, we take these things very seriously. I'm very, very impressed with all this. We'd like to send someone round, and a man did in fact come round. And once again, he measured the tyres. Yes, indeed, we did immediately need 2 new front tyres. But the back ones, the man told me it still would have been their policy to tell me that the back one needs replacing as well, although they weren't yet down to the limit. And this is where, my mind came into it. As Toyota had told me you don't need the back ones yet because they weren't down to the limit. And indeed they were not down to the limit. However, the man who came round from Kwik Fit did tell me that it is their policy to recommend that you change your tyres when it gets to, I think he said 3 millimetres. The actual legal limit is 1.6 mil. Okay, I'm pretty sure it's 1.6 millimetres, but they tend to tell people, or they make it their thing to tell people when it's 3 millimetres. I think you can go a little bit further than that. It has to be said, the more tread on your tyre, the safer your distance of braking and skidding will be. But the fact is, it is still 1.6 mil. That's the legal limit. That's what I personally go down to. Kwik Fit say they tell people to change them at 3 mil because they say it's safer. Or is it making a bit more money? Doesn't matter. I'm just very, very impressed that a company has sent someone round to check out what I say. So full marks there to Kwik Fit. All right, boys and girls, let's rattle away at some of your emails. Thank you very much to MPOTW writing this via YouTube, who says, you remember, I couldn't remember those French stick things with cheese and tomato on top. They are called Bruchettas. Also, Danny. Hello, my friend Danny, who I haven't seen for years. Come on, Danny. Let's get together one night. Yes, he also says they are Bruchettas. I knew it was something beginning with B. Those things that I was stealing at the buffet at the New Year's Eve. Thank you very much. Hello to Maggie. All right, Maggie, sent this a couple of days ago. Says, thanks for singing Oklahoma to me on your radio programme last year. Did I sing the whole thing? I can only do a line now. We've only got time for a line, I'm afraid. Oklahoma, where the wind comes reaping down the rain. I don't know the real word. I'll make them up as they go along. It's so much easier than learning the real words, don't you think? Hello to Shaun, who saw my cordless hedge trimmer. He's not here in the studio. Saw my brand new cordless hedge trimmer. I did try it out a little bit yesterday, but it was windy, weren't it? Windy yesterday. My God, Tuesday morning, and I still managed to get on my bicycle and cycle all the way to Wokingham for my swimming lesson. not my swimming lesson, my swimming exercise thing I do sort of Monday to Friday. I got on that bike, it was pouring with rain and quite windy, and it's like Florida weather here now. It really is. I had my swim, I was in the pool, in the sports centre, an hour and 10 minutes. I came out again, the clouds had disappeared, the wind had gone, and it was lovely and warm. How weird is that? And that's how it is in Florida. Anyone who's been to Florida, or indeed, I know we've got some people, Floridians, watching this show. I know what your weather's like there. It changes in an instant. It absolutely does. You go to Florida and see what I mean. Shaun says, a cordless hedge trimmer. I got some cordless microphones. Cordless electrical equipment is the way forward. It certainly is, Shaun. And what sort of other cordless electrical devices do you have? I'm dying to know, Shaun. I'm dying to know what sort of little toys that you put batteries in yourself. Do let me know. Pardon? Shaun says you should go out to McDonald's with your new United Kingdom Talk hoodie on. Everybody will be wanting one. I've got it here, actually. Oh, my sister who actually printed, my nephew got this for me, okay? But my sister printed it for me. Can you see this? The new United Kingdom Talk hoodie. This is the only one in the entire world, okay? But my sister has said she will happily print some of these for you, okay? If anyone's interested in a United Kingdom Talk hoodie, they are £20, okay? £20. If you want one of those, email me and I will pass your email on to her. I'm nothing to do with this. Nothing to do with me, governor. Pass the buck. Nothing to do with me at all. Okay? If you want one of those, she says they're £20, which is pretty good, I suppose. If you email me your email, if you want one with your size, I will pass that on to her and she'll look after you, okay? The United Kingdom Talk hoodies. Oh yeah, we could be hoodies together. We could have a United Kingdom Talk hoodie gang, couldn't we? And go around stealing and beating people up. How exciting would that be? I would. I do. I think I might. I don't think I've ever beaten anyone up in my life. No, definitely not. Only a couple of squirrels. Oh my God, we're coming into that period, aren't we? When the squirrels are all out digging holes in my garden, I shall be watching them and attempted to catch them with my squirrel cages. We do not like squirrels. It's all very well you sitting there, oh, they're nice little fairy things. You wait till you have your loft invaded with squirrels. It is not funny. Not funny at all. Shaun says, I think you should give all of your fans one free of charge when listening and or watching the show. Are you having a laugh, Shaun? Where do you think I've got the money to do that, dear? Just bought another flat. That's nearly through now. Apparently the money is now in position with the solicitors. Just a few more days and I shall have my mitts on a new little flat to rent out. Wonderful. He says, obviously one per listener viewer. Good idea for your fan club. I don't think so, Shaun. What do you think this is? A charity institution, dear? We haven't got money to give away hoodies and T-shirts left, right and centre. You want one? £20 it'll cost you. Email me with your details. chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Okay, you can choose your colour as well, I believe. It's not just blue. All multitude of rainbow colours. Very beautiful. On the subject of what did you do New Year's Eve, well, Shaun says he was DJing. He says, have we put that video up? He reckons there's a video of him DJing. The thing is, Shaun, I've looked on your website and there's various pictures of like lights and things like that, but I never see you actually working. Are you taking pictures of other people's lights and halls? And you're not actually doing it yourself? Because I find it very hard to believe that a 16-year-old boy has got all this equipment and drives around doing mobile discos. Are you on the same planet as us, Shaun? That's the question. I need some proof, I'm afraid. I'm going to have to... proof or it's not happening. Okay, have you heard that expression? I want to see photographic and video evidence of you actually DJing. Not just for a little second. I want you to set a camera up somewhere and leave it running for an hour. I wish to see you working and the crowds and millions of people dancing like you keep telling us they do, because I'm finding it all very hard to believe. I really am. I know it says in the Bible, happy are those who believe and yet do not see. Well, I'm sorry, I want to see. Send it through, Shaun. He says, the New Year's Eve disco I did was busy as well. No one could move in the pub. How can you be working in a pub if you're 16 years old? It can't be happening. It was jam-packed, a bit like a jam donut. Oh, I like those. Have you got any jam donuts? Morrison's do really nice jam donuts. Have you had the Morrison's ones, dear? Oh, they're beautiful. They're going to get that jam in with a hypodermic syringe. They inject jam. Oh, do you know what? I'm tempted now after I finish the show to go up and buy some. Little packet of jam donuts. He says they enjoyed it and said they would hire me again for future events. I've seen no evidence yet, Shaun, of you being a DJ. How are you driving around anyway? You're 16, you can't have a car. Eh? Dear, I don't know what planet you're on, Shaun, I really don't. Nick, our lovely cabbie, says, any chance you could come round to ours with your new toy? That's the new cordless hedge trimmer. The lovely Fifi's bush is in need of a trim, and that's a big job. I don't know what to say to that, really. He says, did you like my cabbie's calendar for Advent movie? I haven't seen that movie, actually, Nick. I saw all your various pictures on the different days because Nick did this cabbie's Advent. We took pictures of various things in London, and that was like the Advent, picture for each day coming up to. Oh, please don't tell me you don't know what Advent is. Are you heathens watching this show? That's the trouble. Look it up on the internet. Google Advent. It's a Catholic thing. You must know what Advent is. 24 days before Christmas, or was it 4 weeks before Christmas? He says, 2011 review flick in production for viewing soon. Happy New Year to you and all your fans, as Ronnie would say, all 35 of you. I mean, it's not like we've got hundreds and hundreds of people watching this programme. It's true. It's true, there's just a handful. We're desperate for more of you. Please, I begged you yesterday for a job. I'm down on my knees begging you. I'm on my knees again. Pardon? You stop that now, you people who know too much about me. Nick also says, on the subject of New Year's Eve, I DJ'd down the local. Camp Matt, the landlord, thought it was a good idea to wear a waistcoat and bow tie, etc. Not so. I gave the full Monty tuna spin and he had to oblige. Oh my God, I dread to think. He had no hat to leave on, and so nothing was left to the imagination. What, you had a landlord running around the place naked? Oh, I feel sick. Can I have a picture? No, hang on a minute, I might not feel sick. Could you send me a picture of the landlord? Would I like him? That's the question. Would I like him? I won't like him if he's anywhere close to my age, Joe. It needs to be around 30, okay? Is he around 30? Can I have a picture of the said landlord in the nod? Please send. Nick says, I had too much tequila. Oh, tequila. What's that? Tequila. Tequila. Is it that one? Did you play that tune? He says, I had too much tequila and ended up asleep on the kitchen floor, butt naked. Oh, for God's sake, Nick. That is making me feel ill. Oh, my God, Nick, you naked. Dear me. I cannot deny it's as Fifi got it on camera. Fifi's his wife. Not my finest moment. I think we agree on that one, to be honest, Nick. But a fantastic time. Nick, what are you doing, for Christ's sake? Running around naked all the time. Please, stop it now. One of the programmes I watched over the Christmas period was... oh, hang on a minute. Two more comments about what people did on New Year's Eve. Okay, Doug Neptune says, I was playing games on my computer. Oh, no. How do you do those computer games? My best friend Ron, he has just bought, what is it now? Not a Wii, not a PlayStation, the other one. Oh, not a Wii, not Xbox. My best friend Ron has bought an Xbox. And I've got to be honest, I was quite excited. I went round to his house. Because he's moving out here soon, he's moving near me soon. Went round to his house and he's got this thing set up. And he's got this little thing that sits on top of the telly and it can actually see him and it films him. And I said, well, what can we play? And he says, well, we can play, I think it was tennis or something like that. And I'm like, well, haven't you got any other games? It's all these sports games, dear. That's all he plays. Mind you, I've got to be honest, you know, I've never ever been into computer games. I just don't see the bloody point of them. Sitting there with your fingers or waving your arms, it just doesn't do it for me. I'm sorry. People spend hundreds of pounds on this stuff, don't they? Does nothing for me at all, computer games. So he did, I can't remember, I think he was doing archery. I can't quite remember. Was it archery? Possibly archery, and I watched him do it twice and then I was bored. I used to enjoy Super Mario. Oh, and while I was at my sister's house, my nephew Gary, he's got an iPad, and he had on there Angry Birds. You know, I downloaded Angry Birds onto my iPhone 4. Hours of fun. It really was, but I don't seem to be able to get past the third screen. Angry Birds, you kind of put this little bird, on one side you've got these things stacked up, okay, and like some sort of creature, they look like fat chickens or something like that in boxes, and you put the little bird in like a sling and you pull it back. Not one of those sort of slings, boys. No dear, not one of those sort of slings. A slingshot. You know what, you put a stone in sometimes or something when you're a naughty boy and you start firing at things. Anyway, you put one of these birds in this slingshot, you pull it back and then you have to let it go, and it's supposed to knock out the boxes that the big fat birds are in or whatever they are. There's enough of those on the telly at the moment, big fat birds. I'm just watching 3 of them on that awful, awful TV programme, Loose... Do you watch that, Loose Women? What a load of old rubbish. How can you sit there watching 3 or 4 old big birds cackling to each other all that time about what they've been doing? Oh, and they're so, so important, aren't they? I can't stand that programme, Loose Women. What a load of old rubbish. Yes, it has got a lot of viewers. Yes, I know. Oh, you haven't got to tell me that. Does that make it good? You know, have you heard some of the music in the charts? Gets the #1. And do you really like it? Or do you think, what a load of old rubbish? Oh, I can't stand that Loose Women programme. Anyway, you know, back to Angry Birds. You've got to try that one. If you've got an iPhone, download Angry Birds. Hours and hours of fun. Nick wrote, I was at a party near Sacramento, California, and he was the only Brit there. California, here I come. Somewhere I haven't visited yet, although I can't see myself flying anywhere this year. I can't be arsed with it. Oh, the mucking about at airports and all that. I can't stand it. I'm just not flying this year. And have you seen the taxes now? You've got to pay in this country to fly somewhere. If you're going out in the business class to Australia, I think it's something like £200 or £300 in tax now. People will stop flying eventually. You know, you can't keep putting these monies up. And finally today, Chris Harris. Chris Harris, you remember him? He was the one a couple of days ago. We had the fireworks moaning, oh, I wonder how much this is costing us. You know, wouldn't sit there and enjoy the... Oh, no, how much is this costing us? Well, Chris has put on there, sorry, I'll be happy in future. Thank you, Chris. Then we welcome you back into my folds of flesh. We really do. Anyway, that's it from the show today. Something for you tomorrow. OK, something for you tomorrow to join in with. Here's a question for you. What sort of people, OK... do you know, I can't remember the blooming question. That's it. Are there any particular people in the world that you would like to see dead? You know? No one in particular. I don't want any names mentioned. Don't start mentioning exes or things like that. I don't want to be in trouble. Any sorts of people, and I don't mean a race or anything like that. Things that people do, okay? Anyone that you'd like to see dead. My answer to that would be private traffic wardens, car clampers, okay? Council officials that make up rules for things when they really don't need rules or anything like that. You get the general gist of it, okay? So is there anyone that you would like to see dead this year? Any sort of groups of people, sorts of jobs, anyone like that? I mean, come on. Who wouldn't applaud and laugh at the sight of a funeral cortege going past with a wheel clamper in it? You would stand there and jump and scream and clap. Surely, wouldn't you? I mean, am I going a bit far here? Please tell me if I am. Do let me know if I'm going a bit far. Is there any sorts of people that you really would like? Bankers, there's another one. What about bankers? Eh? Would you jump for joy hearing that they'd all suddenly drop dead on the floor for no apparent reason? Perhaps through greed? Would you? Is there any groups of people that you'd like to see dead this year? Do let us know. My email address is, I told you it was going to be a little bit different this year, didn't I? Chris at unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Chris at unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Thanks for watching and listening to the show today. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.